Wanderers, welcome to the Wondering Dutchmen Podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by K&J Insurance.
As we end 2024, our buddy Kyler Henry with K&J Insurance of Petersburg wants us to remind our avid listeners that insurance needs change year to year. When was the last time you heard from your insurance agent? If it's been a while, maybe it's time for a change. Kyler and the gang at K&J Insurance want to craft personalized insurance portfolios for you. Whether it's for personal insurance needs or your business, Kyler has you covered. Kyler also works in Medicare and life insurance needs. Don't roll over into 2025 with uncertainty about your insurance. Reach out to Kyler with K&J Insurance today.
The Wondering Dutchmen Podcast.
Where none of us are Dutch, but we all live in Holland, Indiana. Join us where we talk about what we all wonder about. This is the Wondering Dutchmen Podcast coming to you from Plymouth Rock.
Wondering Dutchmen. Yeah. The Wondering Dutchmen. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Wondering Dutchmen Podcast coming to you from Smoker's Lounge. That's right. We're not really Plymouth Rock, but we got some turkey on the table, and some would say there's some turkeys around the table. Introducing first, our buddy in the rose-colored glasses, just back from Tampa, doesn't really have a tan, which tells us it was a work trip, not a pleasure trip. It's our buddy from Richmond, Indiana, David Allen Smoker.
Hello.
Sitting there in the middle, it's our buddy with the mustache and the orange hat brigade. He blew the whistle today. It's time. It's our buddy by way of Holland, Indiana, Zachary David Masner.
Hey, guys.
And I am Esquire. Glad to be at the head of the table. Fellas, we're just going to jump right into it. I was on a little bit of an adventure today.
Okay.
As you can see there, and Dave will probably zoom in on this, that beautiful deliciousness right there is turkey. You might not believe it. Oh, the steam coming off of it. You might not believe that turkey could come out as juicy and tender and beautiful as what that is. But I'll tell you how I got to this point, Dave.
Tell me.
Our buddy over there at Merkley & Sons, he goes by the name of Bradley.
Yes, sir.
Wears like size 15 work boots.
Mm-hmm.
Big fella.
Bigger than that, like 16 or 18.
Okay, there we go. He sent me a message, and he said, hey.
I think he's got to buy special shoelaces to get all the way up them things.
Oh, yeah.
He gets them custom made.
Yeah. He reached out, and he said, hey, stop by the shop. I got something for you. I said, okay, what is it? He said, let me call you. And I said, okay. So he calls me, and he said, hey, I got a little bit of a turkey product we're selling over at the shop. It's a mix of white meat and dark meat. He said, but here's the catch. It's not a traditional turkey in a sense of got two legs and you got to fish the neck out of it and all that other stuff, the innards and the gizzards. He said it's kind of in a roast shape. It's whole meat turkey. Cook it. And I was like, well, how do you want me to cook it? Any way you want to. There's instructions on the package. Well, okay, that's fine. But being a man that loves to fire up the smoker, I said, I'm going to smoke the bird.
Yeah.
And that right there smoked from about 3 to 8:45. It had a nice smoke ring on the outside, but that son of a bitch is nice and moist on the inside.
Moist AF.
Yeah. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are responsible for preparing the turkey for your Thanksgiving, please, I beg you, head on over to Merkley & Sons. Tell them you want the turkey roast or the turkey product, whatever it is. They'll know. You'll see it. Comes frozen. I set it in the fridge for a day. I set it in some cold water to defrost. It was ready to go. I threw it on the smoker. I didn't even season that. So it's enhanced. They put some of the sodium and other things that keep the moisture in it so it doesn't dry out. And that's what you get. And this, there's probably been 6 or 7 pieces taken off of it.
That shit's really good, man.
So-
That's a fine sized turkey product.
Yeah.
I mean, that would feed my family. Like
Yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If you had 2 of those, you'd have it covered.
And then if you had some gravy, some mashed potatoes, dressing,
Some cranberries.
Well,
I mean, whatever.
Okay.
But
Felt like that was
if you're into
pretty
that
good,
kind of thing,
a little bit, I am.
whatever.
Okay.
Zombie. That
Mhm.
kind of cranberries or the one that comes in a can?
Like peaches, because they come in a can and they're put there by man in a factory way downtown.
That is moist AF. I mean, so much so that it's getting ready to.
Yeah, we got a racetrack of juice.
Oh, here, you want me?
It's getting ready.
No, it's fine.
No,
fine.
it's getting ready to bust the dike.
I just, fellas, sometimes we get into these things and I'm skeptical, but Bradley didn't steer us wrong here.
That's good shit, bud.
Yeah.
He's never steered us wrong.
Well, that's true. He's never.
No.
But I'm glad it turned. And I tell you, I threw it on the smoker. I went deer hunting, come back, monitored, internal temp 165, and then it was ready. And I smoked it at 225, low and slow. So about 225 to 235.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it turned
really
out really
good.
well.
They're really good. Head over to Merkley's and pick you one up because this show here will come out when
next week.
Yep, that will be on the
18th-ish.
Yeah,
20th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
18th to Monday, 19th.
Yeah, it'll
20th.
come out on the 20th. Yeah, so that gives you about what
A week.
a week
Yeah.
to get over there and get one bought for before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, it was easy. It was simple. You don't have a turkey carcass to get rid of. You don't have nasty turkey product in your trash for a few days. It's all packaged, cooked,
Self-contained, baby,
and ready to roll.
Easy
So
peasy.
that's what I've been up to. Just kind of a one-day thing there, but it's on the table. It's in the centerpiece for a good reason. So
That's right.
Smoke Dragon, what about you, buddy? What's been going on? What was last week like? What are we looking forward to?
Spent a week in Tampa for work. Just pretty tired, boss. Don't sleep real well in hotels. Just ready for a nap.
Most people call it going to bed.
Yeah, it's one of those two.
Yeah, you're going to power through them.
I'm going
yeah.
to bed.
Yeah, we're powering right through.
Right through. Did you see much hurricane damage while you're in Tampa?
No. Well, what was left over? Piles of trash along the roads, like insides of the houses that were on the outside got put on the roadside.
Yeah.
Seaside.
Did you see Lieutenant Dan? Talk about him a few episodes ago.
No, didn't spend much time
In
by
the bay?
the water.
Yeah.
We were in the hotel or the facility I was down there visiting, and then on airplanes.
How were the flights?
About 2 hours. They were pretty good. Took an Allegiant flight down, lots of leg room. Brought a Southwest
Are you
flight home.
sarcasm? Is there sarcasm in that?
No, like tons of leg room. Like,
On an Allegiant airplane?
yeah, I've never had that much leg room in an aeroplane.
Were you on an exit row?
No.
Wow.
They just got more space. Now, there's nothing free in there. Like, you got to pay for a water, like.
Oh, that's tough.
But
You do?
It's on an Allegiant flight, you do.
On that operation, yeah.
But that's how they pay for the leg room, I guess. So I'm in.
Yeah.
Southwest flight on the way home. It's a seat yourself situation on Southwest.
Mm-hmm.
First come, first serve. Had a pretty good pick of the litter there. But I could tell it was going to be a full flight.
Ooh.
So I found a big old fella. It looked like he had the nervous sweat sitting by a window. So I sat next to him because I figured nobody'd want to try to park their ass in between us.
That's a good strategy. How'd that work out?
Nobody
it's
sat
not
between
assigned
us.
seats there?
Not on the Southwest. It's
You board in groups. You got like A1 through 15.
That's right.
And then they do the rest in A and then B and C and
Mhm.
how on it goes.
A1 through 30, then 30 through 59, then B1 through 30, and 31 to 59, and the same for C. Well, they let the folks in the wheelchairs and walkers, and then the
Veterans.
mothers with babies, and then veterans, and then the people that paid for early entry, and then then they start with the common folk.
The pores.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, That's good. We're glad to have you back in the county.
Glad to be back.
Which in real time, it's a
I'm in
Saturday.
Indiana, man.
We haven't recorded on a Saturday in forever.
Been a long while.
Yeah. And usually when it's a Saturday recording, it's a party, but we're all kind of tired a little bit.
Tired.
A little zapped.
Big fella, what you got?
Well, I mean, same. I just, I don't know, been dealing with a little bit of the blues.
Well, when it gets pitch black dark at 6:30, it'll do it too.
Yeah, and then like it's been kind of overcast and rainy and shitty and stuff like that, and the warden been a little under the weather and just running. I think I put 300 miles on my car this week, and that's literally running from Holland to Huntingburg. I did not go anywhere other than Holland and Huntingburg. Just driving kids, and it's every night, and it sucks, and it's whatever, And then like today, I got my orange hat on because in real time it's November the 16th, which is opening firearms season, opening day for firearms season in the state of Indiana for white-tailed deer. And that's what I was saying earlier. This is the first year on opening day where I didn't have to work that I didn't get a hunt because of scheduling and kids and basketball and softball and ball and whatever ball and play dates with buddies, the kids as buddies and this and that and stuff like that, which it's whatever. I didn't didn't really get much time to prepare or get things ready to hunt. But anyway, did get my hands a little bloody this afternoon. Friend of the program, Mr. Joshua Shirley, he bagged one, helped him out, got that thing skinned out and opened up, cooling down and whatnot. So, but other than that, ready for this show, ready to get her ready to rip. Had some of this turkey. Hopefully I don't get too much of it and get the sleepies, but
that's going to make a really good turkey sandwich later.
Yeah, for sure.
Really good turkey sandwich.
Yeah. So other than that, boys, I'm ready to rip.
Hey, and that little welcome back was brought to you by our buddy Logan Clark and Lights by Logan. Christmas is next month. But everyone knows you don't wait until the last minute to put Christmas lights up or get the holiday decorations in the yard. That is where Lights by Logan comes in. He takes care of all of it, putting up, taking down, and you get to just enjoy the creation. Time slots are booking up fast for the upcoming holiday season, so don't wait. Be the envy on your block. Be the Clark Griswold of the neighborhood. Whatever you do, don't wait to call Logan. He's getting busy, and like Santa, won't slow down until December 26th. All right, big fella, lead us off.
Well,
what you been wondering about?
So I really did some fact gathering for this, and I have kind of been talking to some folks and gathering some information, regarding to this topic. But it says 10 to 20 miles a day. Actually, it says 10 to 20 miles a week, but it's actually 10 to 20 miles a day. That's a wild statistic. And when I say that, I was actually talking to some city mail carriers in town.
Okay.
And I don't know, like I was intrigued about it and, just kind of interested in it. I thought I had a little note with some stuff on there, but I can't find it. And I'll try to just mumble while I do find it. But so I was talking to a few mail carriers in town, and they were talking about, I asked them about how many miles a day, on average do they walk? And it's absolutely mind-boggling to me. And I said, how many miles? So in the city of Huntingburg, you got any idea?
10 to 20?
No. Good guess. Any idea?
I bet it would probably be, gosh, I don't know, 25 to 30?
15 to 17 miles in Huntingburg is what one of them walks. The other one is a 12 to 14. And the 15 to 17 guy is approximately 125 flights of stairs a day. And that's anywhere from an 8 to an 8.5 an hour, 8 to 8. I can't speak.
8 to an 8.5 hour day.
Yeah, on average. And if we do that math, Dave, if it's 10 to 15 miles a day for however many miles, it's a shit ton.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I'm mind blown. I really thought this was going to be a great topic to talk about, just because
it is going to be good. Because I think it's.
Well, 6 days, right? 16 miles a day, 96 miles.
Yeah.
Do they work 6 days?
Yes. Yeah, they do. They are now.
Here's the question. How, for the fact that the guy knew that was 125 flights of stairs.
He wore a
Your
Fitbit.
watch.
Oh, I guess that's true.
He
too.
wore a Fitbit.
Well, but you think you could count it too. You know, that maybe you're just like figuring out that way. I don't know.
So if you rock, what's the average? What do you do? So if we do 15 to 17 miles on average, what would that be? So we do 16 and a half,
16.
just 16 to
Let's keep the math simple.
make it easy. So 16 miles a day times 6 days,
96 miles a week
times 52 weeks a year. That's 4,992 miles a year.
So that song, I will walk 500. Oh, that's
5,000. But then if you go into the amount of time, if you walk from across the United States of America, I looked it up the other day and it was like
2,700 miles.
Yeah, or just around 3,000 or something like that if you walk from one side to the other. So they literally
in a direct line in the
Yeah.
closest proximity.
Yeah. So they walk more than what it would take to walk from one side of the earth or one side of the United States to the other.
They get a trip and a half almost.
Right. So
a year's
then
time.
in Jasper, another one, I talked to another mail carrier. He walks from 12 to 14 miles a day. But he said the difference between Huntingburg and Jasper is more like house after house after house after house, whereas in Huntingburg it's, house, and then walk for a while, and then another cluster of houses, and then just like the streets are farther apart and stuff like that in Huntingburg, whereas Jasper, they're more condensed.
Yeah.
So he said it's just there's a lot of variables to really figure out how much indeed they actually walk.
Here's a real question. What got you thinking about this? You getting on a walking kick or?
No, they are literally walk by us 50 times a day when we're working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whether we're on this job or that job or this job or that job, they're always, there'll be somebody around, the mail people, and they're always super friendly. Well, one of them is that news anchor boy that we had on our show that one time.
Oh,
Like he's kind of a big deal
the
down
personality hire?
there, and then, like the lady that cleans your house, Dave, who I'm talking about? The lady that cleans your house?
Mm-hmm.
Her husband's one of them.
Okay.
Yeah, and he was the one that I was talking
Now,
about.
do they listen to podcasts all day or
They do.
tunes?
The one woman was walking by us and she had it in. I don't think they can wear earbuds.
Well, I think for personal safety, you wouldn't want to.
No, and then I think maybe sometimes they will wear one with the other one out. I don't know what the rule is, so I don't want to.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of sticky there, but
What do
the woman that we were working, and she walked by and she had it like in her pouch, and I don't know if she had like a small Bluetooth speaker or something, but like you could hear the podcast playing on that. And I asked her the questions about how much she walked and stuff like that, and she said, "Well," and she said, "Why do you ask?" And I said, "Well, me and a few friends of mine have a podcast, and I was just thinking about talking about it because it's just really intriguing to think about how much you guys walk in a week." And she's like, "Oh, what was the podcast called?" And I told her, and she's like, "Well, I'll have to check it out." And I was like, "Well, thank you. I appreciate that, But the other variable that you got to figure in is it doesn't matter what the weather is. when they're walking.
Not in the, what is it? Rain, snow, sleet,
Anything.
night of whatever.
300 degrees outside, 300 below. Like, you know, they still got to deliver the mail.
If you think about it, though, their body conditions so much better to the seasonality of things than what one guy realizes. I bet they're hardly ever sick.
I don't know.
Because you're outside all the time. You're moving all the time. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, staying and you know you're getting all the steps in. You're getting your cardio. Their quads. You know, got to be big and everything.
I would wonder how many steps it is. Like I know you talked about miles, but
I don't know.
That would be even more intriguing to know. And they do that 6 days a week.
Yeah,
8+ hours a day,
52 weeks a year.
It's probably 20 to 25,000 steps, I bet.
Yeah.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
Depending on their stride length?
Well, he's taking probably average foot size being a foot and doing the math from there.
So they were saying another thing, too, a lot of these mail carriers are pushing for is that, like on the new home constructions,
yeah,
instead of, you know, where traditionally the mailbox would be up on the house, like on like by the stoop or by the door where they just open their door and grab it out. A lot of them are wanting them to be put like out by the street or the sidewalk to where they don't have to go up and down the stairs.
Is there a regulation that says whether you can put it on your house or out on the road?
I don't know.
Because like when we built, they said, well, if you wouldn't mind putting it next to your neighbors, we'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
But I guess, do you have a free choice to do what you want to do?
I think you can probably do what you want in America. I would hope. I think there's a height restriction.
Oh, there is, because I'm a persistent violator of it.
Yeah, there you go.
I think it's like 48 inches.
Yeah, no, there's a super, super stringent regulation on how high, how tall it is, how far behind the curb it is, and all kinds of stuff, because we poured a bunch of sidewalk and we ended up having to modify one because it wasn't quite installed correctly.
Oh no,
for the for the old mail.
That's not good.
The old mail reg, but
if you had to pick, so if you were going to deliver Amazon, FedEx/UPS, or be a mail carrier, which one?
UPS, because they're off at least on Sundays.
Yeah.
And
Or
you get to drive a part of it.
USPS are off on Sundays.
Yeah,
as well.
but I feel like you don't get to drive as much.
Huh?
Maybe a rural route. I could do a rural route.
Those rural route carriers they put in some miles too, driving wise. You know what I mean? Like they put a lot of miles on their vehicle.
And you get real good at reaching across the middle of your car to.
Or you can get a right-hand drive.
Some do, some don't though.
Yeah.
Or you just drive backwards in a left-hand drive.
Sit in the middle and straddle the hump.
You do that too.
That's a wild deal, dealing with the mail. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You ever see people wearing gloves?
Oh, I don't blame him.
Like medical gloves when they deliver the mail?
Yeah, I don't blame him. Mail's dirty.
People
Probably just
licking them.
When they lick the envelope shut.
They still do that?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, some do, some don't, I reckon.
And hey, you know, the other thing of it is it's Christmas card season coming up soon.
Oh, yeah.
I bet they hate that. I bet they hate like political season.
Yeah.
When you get all the political mailers and then Christmas card season.
Mm-hmm.
I bet that adds a lot to the workload.
Well, sure. And it makes their pouches heavier.
Their pouches, like kangaroo pouches.
Yeah. I don't know. A lot of really, it's a wild deal to think about. I was just kind of looking at like the jobs that require the most walking. And believe it or not,
there's any mail carriers that have dogs that carry mail with them, like just to get extra capacity?
a pack dog,
mule, but
pack
a
dog. Yeah. I do know that there was a UPS friend, a driver of mine. He's not a route driver anymore, but he used to carry a can of bear spray for dogs.
Oh, yeah,
that screw with him when he was delivering. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a good situation.
No.
Well, but think about it like this. Think about in your job something you do that's part of it that would be like same to this fact. Like for you, how many yards of concrete you pour in a week, a day, a year.
Yeah.
How many processes you run, if that's the right word I'm using. You know what I mean? Like people would be astounded by those facts of their employment. Because you wouldn't think about it. Because I would never guess how many processes you run in a day, especially when you have a problem and you're trying to find it, what you do in a day. Or, how many yards of concrete you pour. So, I mean, it makes sense.
See, these don't make any sense. But if you look at the top 10 most jobs that require walking is acrylic bath shower installer, bread baker, post-shipment service specialist, maintenance tech, safety manager, veteran intern, doggy daycare, playroom associate, and an armed security guard. This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think Google's skewed on that.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's a good possibility.
Wild.
Hey, here's what I was thinking about.
Tell me.
I spend a lot of time on the road, and I get to two intersections that have this situation. One being the Holland Junction and one being the Brettsville Junction, where you have a right-hand yield lane to a left-hand turning lane. So, for instance, we take our local Holland Junction. If you are westbound on 64 and you're turning left to head south on 161, that right-hand turn lane has to yield to you turning left. So we're all clear on the parameters. Why in the hell do people struggle with it?
I think they just don't see the sign. If I don't have kids with me, I take full advantage of my legally provided.
I mean, you're hoping to smoke somebody in the door.
No, I'm hoping somebody will smoke my door. I don't want to be responsible like hitting some old lady in her car, but if she wants to hit my truck and, tires getting bald. Could use a new set of skins.
Hey, speaking of tires getting bald, Lady Tank needs a new set of shoes.
Oh, I know.
Too long, buddy.
Yeah,
I noticed that today when I was walking into the gym.
Yeah, it's they are there. It is upon us. I got to talk to our buddy.
I just don't understand why. We've had this conversation before, and I think the issue down here at the Holland Junction is with the traffic that is traveling westbound. Nope, eastbound. The traffic that is traveling eastbound
are not locals.
Number one, and number two, if there is there's a vehicle that is facing north at the junction, wanting to turn and then go east, take a right-hand turn. If there's someone yielding to turn south onto 161, then that creates a blind spot for a vehicle to potentially hide in that is traveling east, that you would be wanting to make that right-hand turn, and that you're just going to pull right out in front of that other car, and they're traveling so fast that it's impossible to stop.
I don't know how you can make those.
You can see for 2 miles. Well, 2 miles is a little bit of a stretch, but you can see for a long ass way.
LAW.
Both directions.
Oh, I like that.
And I just don't understand. I can't. I think last week or 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah, there's like 2 or 3.
There were like three wrecks in a week down there. And I just don't understand the inner workings of how it works.
I feel like maybe something that would help a lot. And I don't know who you got to tell this to. But I think, so we've got the flashers.
Yeah.
But I feel like maybe, perhaps it would help if they added a third flasher for the eastbound lane that was an arrow, flashing arrow, to maybe indicate the yield or the right turn is yielded as well. You know what I mean? Just something to like, hey, dickhead, or maybe a flashing red light, but something of that nature.
There was so you think putting some signage there that helps direct?
Yeah, because you come around the corner. If nobody's coming, whether they're coming or not, you're coming around the corner. I mean, you can do a good 35, 40 miles an hour through that turn.
The yield on two wheels.
Dave's got that look like that's a natural.
So if you're going east and you hit that yield at like Mock Jesus, where you're just ripping her through there, huh?
Yeah, I mean, if you don't, there's no. I don't know. You got the flashing yellow light, so yeah, there's cars coming, but it doesn't make it look like that. It does seem like an unnatural deal that you would yield.
So when you
to the
yield,
traffic crossing,
do you know the actual like what it means to yield?
yeah, stop and wait for whoever has the right of way.
Which who in that situation would have the right of
Because
way?
the sign, it
No,
would
no,
be
no, no, no. Who in that situation would have the right of way?
the person turning south
Yes.
from the westbound lane.
Yes.
But
Uh-huh. Sometimes you think the person that's heading east would.
if there was
confuse-
no yield sign there, you would assume that you were the one, if you're the eastbound person, that you would have the right of way because you're already on that side of the road.
I don't think that the accidents are happening involving the yielding vehicle. I think the accidents are happening with people
turning right,
turning right,
going eastbound.
going eastbound.
because they're
'Cause they
running.
can't see
they're
the car.
well that, and then they're running the stop sign there.
Yeah.
They're in a hurry, and they
Now,
don't.
my dad tells a tale of back in the day where I think it was an 18-wheeler driver must have fallen asleep down there at the intersection.
Just kept on chugging.
Yep, and just sailed that son of a bitch clean off that intersection. And on the other side of that, on the north end of that,
Pretty healthy drop off.
yeah, it's a one hell of an embankment that you
How
gotta
quick?
go
How
down
quick
to.
you think you shit your pants when you wake up on that one?
Midair. Yeah.
I bet so.
He said there was parts of that tractor hanging in the tree, probably 25, 30
Mm.
feet up in the air.
That's wild. I wonder, Dave, to your point, you talk about trying to improve it, is if your yield, you entered the yield and it kind of was like curved. So like where Styline's at and they did the bridge over
Yep.
the railroad tracks, where if there's more yielding there that gets you a little bit further
Mm.
down the road. But, the last thing we want's a roundabout.
I'm a big fan of roundabouts.
I get into a roundabout and I just white knuckle it. Like,
Really?
we're getting through it. Like I am a aggressive driver in a roundabout.
I guess I feel like a roundabout makes it to where you don't have to be an aggressive driver. It's just follow the traffic pattern.
Well, that's true, but I might make a little sound effect when I get into them too.
Like a broom?
I really don't know how roundabouts are supposed to work either with who has the right of way when and all that stuff, because
I mean, if there's somebody already on the roundabout, they have the right of way.
really.
Yes.
So when you're going,
If you're already in the roundabout, you don't stop the person in the roundabout, because that's what it all up. Because
I
I
know.
was down there at, we went to visit, it's not in Cincinnati, it's on the Kentucky side. There's a
Newport.
pond there, not a pond, but a fish tank.
Aquarium? Newport on the levee.
Yep. So we went down through there, and there was somebody that was not accustomed to a roundabout, and I think they were trying to be polite and let somebody in.
Oh.
But what happens is when everybody's lined up behind you and you stop to let somebody in,
Then
you
they
just
can't
gridlock
then
it.
they
Everybody gets
Yeah.
jammed in there. So
Kind of
you-
like the guy in the revolving
right.
door. That
So
just stops.
you can't dick that up. You gotta, if you're on the roundabout, you have the right of way. Now, I'm not going to tell you can't. It takes getting ballsy sometimes. You got to shoot the gap,
Yeah.
but you can't.
That's where
stop
the
it.
vroom comes in.
Yeah, yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't understand how.
Man,
the
I
old-
watched old brother Wally one time take his old road glide around a roundabout like sideways, and I was like, man, that's
jeez. Oh, brother Wally.
pretty ballsy. fella
Miss that
there.
guy. Yeah. Miss Wally. That's just I'm on the road a lot. I see a lot of wild things on the road. And it's commonly happens.
Wild.
And usually it drives
You
me
ever stop
nuts.
back and turn around and go pick something up out of the road you seen?
Uh-uh.
I have
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Like what?
Road cones,
box turtles.
Oh.
but
Yeah.
box turtle. Now, see, I don't know.
You pick up new pets, huh?
No, just hell no.
You
You
just move them across the way.
shoo them on, help them out.
I think because the part that drives me nuts is when there's the left-hand turn, and usually I'm trying to get home, and you got somebody that stops there and lets 6 cars turn right.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I get incensed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't handle it.
Yeah.
I want to get the Glock out of the glove box, just pepper the back tailgate.
So yeah, when the traffic is there stopped and somebody's trying to let the guy out from CVS into the driving lane, and then
Not a chance.
the guy in the CVS ain't really paying attention, and the lady's just standing there, come on out, and then the guy's like, ah, and Casey's in the back just
No, I'm not.
the horn.
I'm not. Well, the problem of it is down here, what worries me is you're going to get somebody hauling rock from Mr. Mulzer's yard,
Mm-hmm.
or Mr. Qualter's yard, or Mr. Cave Corey's yard, and they're going to be doing mock Jesus down that hill, and you're going to be trying to turn left, and your ass is hanging out, and they just get you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the part that worries me, because that's a busy intersection.
Oh, yeah.
So, Smoke Dragon, what do you got, buddy?
Well, we need to do a pause for the cause first.
Yeah, and we are. Hey, our buddies, we're going to take a quick pause because that turkey needs to be eaten a little bit, and we need to refuel. So we're going to do a brief pause for the cause, brought to you by Velpen Disposal.
Velpen Disposal is proud to sponsor this Pause for the Cause, which do that right now. Push pause. Look around your house, your garage, your barn, or wherever it is you've squirreled away stuff you won't use. Velpen Disposal wants to remind you that before you add new stuff from Christmas, now is the time to clean out old stuff. Fall cleanup days are here, and don't wait. Velpen Disposal has plenty of roll-off dumpster options for you.
All right, Brother Dave, what you got?
Well, I've been thinking about it, and as much as I'm always complaining about the daggone newfangled age and these damn kids and, the stuff that I never had growing up, I don't think that there's an amount of money I would take to not have like a endless supply of music on my phone at my beck and call. I don't think I could do, like I couldn't do without it. Like I could do without the internet, like social media and whatnot, but I couldn't do without being able to say, man, I wonder.
Well, you couldn't do without the internet, because without the internet, then you wouldn't be able to have.
That's what I'm driving at.
So
Like I'd like to say I could do without the internet because I don't really care about the social media or anything, but I gotta be able to.
So let's set it up here. I hate to say it. If I had to choose between $1 million and never having my phone for endless music on the go, I don't think I could let go of the music.
That's right. And I feel like that's a tough spot to be. I just can't imagine not having.
I'm taking the $1 million, and I don't listen to music anyways.
Man, that's wild to me.
Well, podcast. When I'm in the vehicle, it's podcast.
Right. Yeah, I don't listen to a lot of podcasts anymore.
I don't listen to music on the radio.
That's the thing. I don't like the radio.
I don't either. Like I don't listen to. I listen to the morning brain teaser on my way to work in the morning.
Yeah. Well,
And-
you've
and-
won that a couple times.
Oh yeah, and then but other than that, I don't listen to music on the radio. Like I either listen to a podcast in my car or I listen to Spotify or Pandora. Like I don't listen to regular radio.
Yeah, if I can't Bluetooth to whatever vehicle I'm driving, it's just normally not on.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's a couple caveats to that, but I guess it's not necessarily music, except for I do enjoy a Saturday morning Good Time Gold with our buddy Scott Salmon.
Yeah, I'll listen to that.
And then, usually I catch the 7:30 sports preview with our buddy Curdy G on Facebook, but I will tune in on occasion to catch it live on WBDC. But the radio, I guess, is on for the kids when we go to school.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it.
Yeah, I just don't know that I could. I'd be rolling the dice on how long I'm going to live anyway. What if I live another 40 years? $1 million isn't going to do much in 40 years.
No,
It's a
probably
lot
not.
of time.
I
to
think
not
I
have
could blow
music.
$1 million in a day.
Oh, for sure.
I think it'd be easy.
I'd just go buy $1 million worth of land somewhere and it'd be.
Well, you got to find it first.
Well, that's it.
called the internet.
There's lots for sale when you got cash in your hand.
Yeah. I think There was always a big question that came about, and I think we may have talked about this before on the show, but I think it all goes back to the whole, like, $1 million or never having endless music for your beck and call. But would you rather be blind or deaf?
Blind.
Yeah. And that was something that I never even realized, but one of a friend of mine's dad was he's a band director. I mean, his whole life and career has been around music.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the question got brought up around him, and he said, I don't think I could fathom life without music. You know what I mean? And if you were deaf, obviously that'd make it pretty tough for you to enjoy music. So he definitely chose blind as well, whereas I chose to be deaf.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you could still somewhat. I don't believe your level of handicapness would be there with being deaf versus being blind. Is that right?
I think it'd be the other way around.
Huh?
I think it'd be harder to be blind than it would be to be deaf.
Duh.
I
That's what I'm driving at.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute. No, I meant what I meant, but not what I said.
You think it would be harder to be deaf than to be blind?
Yes. Like my dad's uncle was blind, and hell, he still drove a tractor and fed cattle, and
What? He was blind?
he had like an 8 or 10 foot piece of like black PVC pipe,
He had one of them walking canes for his tractor.
and he'd ride on the tractor and he'd count the fence posts going down Smoker Road, and he knew how many fence posts it was to get to the gate, and then he put a little battery operated radio on the corner post, and then he knew he had to drive out about X amount of seconds in the general direction, and he'd feed the cattle and turn around and drive back to the radio.
That's wild.
Get out of here.
I tell you what, you smokers are a whole different breed.
He drove back to the radio because he went back to the sound, and that's how he knew how to get to the gate.
I mean, he'd have to start and stop a lot. Like, he didn't just like listen once and drive the whole way back.
There ain't no way that a blind man could drive a car.
Well, maybe not a car. It's hard to get your 10-foot PVC pipe out to count fence posts.
Yeah, and fences.
Well, hey, someday.
I mean, like, he didn't drive the car to the farm, but like he'd drive
right
equipment around.
I understand, but still, I believe my point remains that it is your level of handicapness is extremely higher as a blind man than it is to be deaf. Can we agree?
I don't know. I mean,
how can you not?
You know, you don't ever daggone see a bomb coming. You hear it coming, right?
Yeah, that's true. Well, it's the ones you don't hear.
Gunfire, you normally don't see
about.
the gunfire. You hear the gunfire.
Yeah.
Normally, you don't get hit from a car behind because you saw it in the mirror. You heard it coming.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think I'd love to see your grandpa, your uncle,
great uncle Paul,
your great uncle.
Now
Paul.
he wasn't blind his whole life. He could see until he was a teenager, and then like in his late teens, early 20s, his vision really started going south, like real damn quick. And I think by the time he was like 21 or 22,
now my great grandma was legally blind, and she'd do all kinds of freaky shit. She knew, like, when you would walk in the house, she knew who was in the house before you even got there.
Well, she could smell your patchouli.
Well, no, this was when I was just a kid.
Oh, you weren't
just a boy. Like, she knew Zachary. Yeah, it's me. You know what I mean? And I'd walk in there.
Your other senses enhanced.
She'd smoke she smoked Cool 100s or Salem's, menthol 100s, and she'd smoke that sumbitch all the way to the butt and never ash one time, and just so slow and bring it up off the arm.
I don't know if that's
it was blind. It was well, yeah, because she would ash in the ashtray one big old long damn snake, 4th of July snake cigarette, It was Wild Bill's mom, my grandma, great grandma Mary.
That explains a lot.
Grandma Selvin. Yeah, when she'd
You
smoke
got some turkey breast on your breast.
Oh, that's hell.
Thank you.
Going back to the topic, so where do you like to purvey your music from? Are you a Spotify, Pandora?
Spotify.
Now, do you
YouTube.
pay for the premium?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm on a paid account. On a family plan. Mm-hmm.
Reckon he's pirating it off us. I'm be damn.
Oh, shoot. All right. Hey, fellas. It is time now for the Merkley & Sons Choice Cut question of the week for the fellas, brought to you by Merkley & Sons. Don't look at the calendar now, but we are in November. That means when the fourth Thursday of the month rolls around, we are giving thanks for friends, family, Bradley and John Boy, Merkley & Sons, and us, the Wondering Dutchmen Podcast. Well, maybe not us, but definitely friends, family, Bradley and John Boy, and of course, Merkley & Sons, the ultimate destination for meat enthusiasts. Don't wait to start planning your Thanksgiving meal. Yeah, turkey may be the tradition, but that doesn't mean you can't stop and see the fellas at the shop before the big day. Heck, maybe instead of dried turkey, you sink your teeth into a medium rare ribeye cooked to perfection on Thanksgiving Day. All right, we got an email today, or yesterday. It was yesterday.
Hell yeah.
And it always tugs at the old heartstrings, warms the cockles, whatever that is. What is that expression? We're going to have to look that up.
Jerk your cockles.
Well, come on over.
That be the email I was thinking of.
Oh, you had another email? Oh, it's warm the cockles of your heart. Warm the cockles of someone's heart is an idiom that means to make someone feel happy and content.
Wow.
Our buddy, superfan Corky Schmidt, sent in some questions, and we know they're always good. Was that the email you were thinking of?
Nope.
Okay, we'll have to talk about that email. First one coming up from our buddy Corky. Favorite midnight snack?
Oh, well, it's going to be this new turkey product from our friends at Merkley & Sons. Wow.
I guess if a midnight snack, I'm not much of a midnight snack. Are we talking about like waking up in the middle of the night? Are we talking about like right? You know, you just can't go wrong, and it's pretty quick for an old cheese roll up. You know, throw you some cheese on a tortilla and nuke it for 20 seconds.
See, that's wild. You would get the microwave involved for midnight snack.
Because we kind of talked about this before, and I think that was the whole one piece of ham, one piece of cheese, roll it up, dip a mayo or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Down the hatch. But if I'm going midnight snack, I'm just going to go something quick out of the fridge. I'll probably hit the lunch meat drawer or something like that, you know, and then slam a little cup of water or something, and then back to the nest.
Yeah. See, mine's I'm probably like a Nutri-Grain bar kind of thing. It's weird.
What?
Well, I don't.
It's like a dry out.
Yeah.
Well,
I really like
but
to eat dog
then
food,
some
huh?
glass of milk because I don't drink milk regularly.
I gave up milk a decade ago. Or
Yeah, and we go through gallons of it. We were at a More for Less the other day, and there was probably 3 of us in a row with a gallon plus of milk each, hitting getting out of there. But yeah, I'm more of a sweet midnight snacker. Don't want anything salty, nothing crunchy, because that wakes you up too much.
Yeah.
Candy's a big one. So like you got some Reese's or something like that sitting out on the counter, cookies.
Now, if it's in the house, cottage cheese is a good place to go for
boy.
Yeah.
a snack.
What do you put on your cottage cheese? It's weird.
I don't put much on there, but my grandpa would put like jelly,
Yeah, that's
and then my other grandpa would put tomatoes in it.
yeah, tomatoes in it. I can get. Favorite pie for Thanksgiving. Favorite pie for Thanksgiving.
Pumpkin. Sorry, he went
Pumpkin.
first last time.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm pecan pie. I love a good pecan pie. Chicken Big Mac or regular Big Mac?
Oh.
Have any of you had the chicken Big Mac?
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah. No.
Tough.
No, it's not good. It's just weird.
Yeah.
I don't really. I mean, I've had a Big Mac in my life before, but I'm normally a
DQP.
Is it a McDouble? Is that what they call it?
The little ones?
Double
Whatever
quarter
the-
pounder.
No. The little.
The cheapos.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
McDouble.
Used to be a dollar menu. Now it's like the not dollar menu.
Not dollar menu. It's the value menu.
Mm-hmm.
You could be. I'm probably a regular Big Mac guy. I don't eat them, but you could be sponsored by one company for the rest of your life. Who would you choose?
That's really tough.
No, I'm assuming that we're getting asked this because we're going to get some sort of like gift, like some supply of said sponsor.
I would say that some
Like
kind
there's
of normal
some sort of a
yeah.
fringe benefit of being.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That is a tough one. I would say. If I had to be a sponsor of something forever, one sponsor.
No, if you got sponsored by something.
Yeah. Do you got one yet?
Yeah, two of them.
Go ahead. Let's hear
Penthouse Magazine.
it. Is that still a thing? I thought that fella died.
No,
I don't know.
Larry Flint?
Yeah.
I have no idea. That's
I think
not
Larry
true.
Flint's dead for
I would
sure.
just choose Busch Light.
I sometimes think I'm going to quit drinking, though.
Yeah.
We would
that-
support that.
Yeah, I don't know
fine.
if I'll drink forever. But I don't know what I would do forever.
Do you think it gets like, is it an age thing, or do you start to worry about like the health, or how does this work?
Not health. I just...
No, not health.
I just gotta quit drinking.
No.
I've just noticed like I drink much less now than I did 5 years ago.
Yeah,
And 5 years ago, I was drinking much less than I did the 5 years before that. Like, I feel like I'm on a steady
decline.
and not that I'm going to like just not drink, but I don't think,
You're not gonna turn into a Quaker and
no, like
Quakers
I'm not,
drink, or is it Puritans?
no, you're thinking
Anyways.
of the ones in Utah.
tilling the soil,
Oh.
hoping for a fertile spring.
Anyway, I just don't think it'd be beer because I think they'll be less valuable to me the longer I go. Probably some sort of, I don't know, guys. This is a real freaking
It's a tough one. I mean, I'd love to say Merkley's if I got all their shit for free, like this guy does.
I don't. He asked me to. He put me on a special assignment. Well, it's amazing how much shit I get over there from Eric,
Yeah.
because he's like, "Oh, we only see you when bacon's on sale." Well,
I don't know either. That's a wild deal. I don't know. I mean, if you could get sponsored by one thing for the rest of your life, but it's, I mean, and you got to think about whether it's a benefit to the squad or if it's a benefit individually.
Yeah.
But
I would love like something that you need in your life that is quite pricey. Like if Chevrolet would call and sponsor
I was
us.
going to say Ranger bass boat,
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like something like that.
Ford Motor Company,
Like every 2 years they're sending you a
maybe
new
like
ride.
a soul,
Can-Am.
but maybe like a utility company like solar. Maybe even if it's something that's not going to take off, but enough like, hey, you sponsor us, we'll put an array in. You'll never pay for electricity.
What is
in
it?
your life.
An array.
An array.
Oh,
like
an
a
array.
solar
Yeah,
array.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that'd be it. Something like that. You know, one of the big hitters for the monthly bill.
Yeah. Or you know what? Just flat out going to say it. Little Debbie. They could call anytime. Christmas tree season.
Big Deborah.
God, I love that Christmas tree. Boy.
I seen a photo on today. It was a meme on Southern Indiana deer hunter, and it said "man down," and it was a guy sitting in his tree stand, and he dropped his Christmas tree snack, and that some bitch is laying on the ground down at the bottom of his lap.
Oh, shoot. You could have any band play in your backyard. Who would it be? That's a great question. Corky he spends a lot of time in the car too.
Bangers. Ah, shit. Any band that you could come up with.
Any band you could have, if you could have any band play in your backyard, who would it be?
Blues Traveler.
Ooh,
Really?
man. Yeah.
Interesting.
That would be a good time. That would be a really good time.
Most of the people I like are like single, like
Well, you could. I bet you could. I mean, Corky will tell us if we're wrong, but if it's a solo musical act,
even then, like I've never seen Blues Traveler. I've always wanted to see Blues Traveler. I feel like me and John Popper get along. I don't know what he does now. I think he quit drinking and, eating.
She's still great big.
No,
You got on the Zimpy?
No, he did it before the Zimpies.
Oh.
He's still big. I actually haven't seen pictures of him recently, but he's not as big as he was. Nowhere near as big as he was.
What about you, big fella?
Man, I don't know.
Remember that time I almost got Shooter Jennings here with
Yeah.
Waylon's original band, and my wife's like, that sounds like if we only have $7,000, how are we going to spend $7,000 on a band?
I don't know, dude. Like, I think I would do something more.
Slipknot.
No, God. No.
Hey, we're going to bring Rammstein out to play.
Now, that would be wild. I don't know, like something that my kids would listen to or something like that. Not Imagine Dragons.
Oh, Taylor Swift.
Yeah, no, she's not her band. But I don't know, just something.
Now, maybe that Miley Cyrus. I don't know much about her,
If
but
Billy Ray would come with her.
Yeah, no, probably not that either. Yeah, I don't know. Honest to God, I don't know. I really don't know who I would pick. Maybe Nickelback, or maybe
Like it?
Well, like if Chester Benningfield wasn't dead, maybe like Linkin Park. Have Fred Durst and the boys come over, little Limp Biscuits. Yeah, he did lose a shit ton of weight, old John.
that's a
Popper
couple
did.
years ago. But
Oh, interesting.
But no, I don't know. It would be something that would probably be more in my time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would have to go Dave Matthews Band.
I'd never
'Cause I
seen him
back-
before the Bourbon and Beyond, but
Yeah.
he was good.
Backyard just jam out session for 4 hours. It'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Here we go. Got a couple more. Zach Brown Band or Chris Stapleton? It's not,
Chris Stapleton.
Yeah,
it's not even a
Stapleton.
question. Stapleton. Corky wants some updates. First one, update on the Ash Bandit in Huntingburg.
Ha! Well, the son of a bitch struck again a couple weeks ago. One of the bigger piles that we've seen in a while. Still really no engagement from HPD. I mean, they got a lot of other things going on. We just kind of go up there and take care of it and move on. But I'll catch the son of a bitch one of these days, and I'll bring him to justice.
Hell yeah.
I'll justice will prevail. You know what I mean? You got to do time and just trust the process.
Yeah. Chase Bland trip. Chase Bland update trip. Is it still on? Well, I saw our buddy Chase Bland this week.
Yeah.
He's going to Boston. We've not made plans for
I
any
don't
of
think
that.
we're going to end up going to
Yeah.
Boston or not.
But we're
Because if we were going to go to Boston, we would have probably already had to have our shit in line by now, because I think anything in that Marathon Village is
sold
gone,
out.
long gone.
But we're going to work on something. We had kicked around a T-shirt idea for the Dutchman Marathon training team to support Chase. We may get back on that.
We better pick it up quick, because I believe that's like April, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. I'll get on it. But update on Long Stroker Smokers Shooting Sports League.
That just ended the other day. Out of the 14 teams that were active, there was 15 teams on the list, but one of them was a team of one, so he was not eligible for the team standings. We placed 9th, which I think was a real good.
Not bad.
Real good
Respectable
go.
for the first year.
One of the boys on the team, old Krigo, he was the 4th. He placed 4th for most improved shooter in the league.
Oh,
Boy.
Deadeye.
So he really got his game together say over the 8 weeks. Most of us stayed pretty close together. Out of the 66 people, we were, I think neighbor Doug was in the high 30s range. Then we kind of peppered throughout the 40s and into the early 50s of the.
So will the HBJs be back next year?
Yep, I believe so. We're going to have to go back and see what we can do there now that we, it took a few weeks to get our feet under us.
The HJB boys.
Oh, it's
Well, no, just the HJ boys.
The
HJ boys.
HJ boys.
Yeah, the HJB boys would be the Holland Junction boys.
Yeah, big boys. All
Yeah.
Junction. Hey, are you guys gonna get like uniform shirts?
Junction. All Junction.
Yeah, I think there's going to be some sort of I don't know if it'll be bowling
Jersey?
shirt-esque.
Please, bowling shirt.
Can you
would be
please
great.
get a jersey?
I don't know.
And then
if
you
we're-
could put our faces on the sleeve.
I mean, if you guys want to sponsor the shirts,
Yeah,
if
we
wanna
Yeah, you know how
sponsor it,
that'll work. That'll be a
like the golf shirt.
Like the golf shirt.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, there probably will be shirts. I would say.
There we go. That's good. Hey, and it is time. It's unfortunate we've come to the end, but we're going to go around the table one more time for some final thoughts, and they're brought to you by Dubois County Tire and Supply.
As we get into the colder winter months, it's time to start thinking about the tread on your tires. That is where our friends at Dubois County Tire and Supply come in. They proudly sell Mastercraft tires for your automobile. And let me just say, Esquire's got a set on the old Polar Bear, and they are great. It's not only Mastercraft tires at Dubois County Tire and Supply, but they do alignments, suspension work, oil changes, coolant system flushes, transmission services, battery checks, and fuel system cleanups. Get your vehicle running right before you are stranded out in the cold.
All right, Smoke Dragon, what say you?
Long week. Gonna be a busy winter, which is good. Busy winter for work. One of those deals where I'm gonna be suck for a while, but just be busy, but it'll be worth it in the end. So that'll be cool. So summer ought to be about the time that it starts, getting like when the windows can go down, when the sun's out in the truck. That'll be about the time I think that it'll really be like better catch up on some PTO time type of thing.
Yeah, there you go.
So I'm, excited for a busy winter.
Big fella?
Well, I just got all my PTO back finally.
Hey, oh yeah.
Welcome back.
I'm like a new man here, so I'm going to try to deer hunt. I haven't deer hunted, haven't put any thought towards deer hunting until it's time, which is now. I need to get out and fill the freezer and stuff like that. So for all you folks listening next week, be careful. Let somebody know where you're going. Good luck. If you had some luck this weekend or, the previous weekend, congrats. Other than that, boys, still send some good vibes towards our buddy Courtney Drew. Keep thinking about her and her fight. If anybody in your life that's being affected by the old cancer bug or anything like that, just send some prayers and positive vibes their way. And other than that, keep your stick on the ice. And I think it's officially time where we can start telling people happy holidays.
Hell yeah.
We say Merry Christmas around these parts.
Right.
Well, Thanksgiving.
But there's
you don't.
that's right.
When
We
you're
still have
before it's
Thanksgiving.
when it's pre-Thanksgiving, you say happy holidays.
Going on the Courtney Drew part before I get to my final thought. November is Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month. Have seen it going around. You can head to one of their official websites and you can take a survey to determine your risk. There's certain factors that increase your risk and likelihood for pancreatic cancer. So take that, be aware. TikTok has shared out some very heartwarming stories of people that happen to catch it early and able to, through treatment and different things, be able to still be here with family and friends. And that's what we're hoping with Courtney there in that trial and doing that for the kids and everything else. But it is pancreatic awareness. I'm sure there's a multitude of organizations you could donate to if you so wish to, but just be aware. Sometimes being aware is worth it 110%. Early detection saves lives. My final thought is this. Big thank you to K&J Insurance, Lights by Logan, Velpen Disposal, Merkley & Sons, Dubois County Tire and Supply. It was great to spend a little time in the tree today. Obviously, don't get out and do it too much, and I'm not a diehard as some are. But sometimes it's nice to just sit in the woods on a hard-ass cold seat and collect your thoughts. So
Hell yeah.
that's what I got. Fellas,
Let's do it.
it's done.
Dutchman out.